Okay, we're going to do show 1064. Got a lot to share with you. A lot of stuff going on. Better get right after it. We're going to do the last week in April 2017. See what's coming up. Mercury's still retrograde until May 3rd. There's a new moon coming up Wednesday. That has the Mars trip in it for fires in Hawaii. Yeah. A lot of stuff going on. Pluto is stopping. There he is. Eek, he's got a gun. Look out. He's an extremist. He's the bomber. You know who the biggest bombers in the world are? The USA government, DOD, Pentagon does more bombing than anybody. Yeah. Anyway, go watch Gore. Pluto's stopping. What's it mean? What it means is that your reptile mind is going to be out and loose around 420. Crocodiles, oh, everywhere. Bugs, eek. So what happens is this peaks out on the 20th. And things bite. Yeah. Sharks bite, dogs bite, people bite, police shoot. You know, there's all kinds of extreme violence and stuff. Now, this peaks out here on the 20th of April, but it comes up, see, a little earlier, gets stronger and stronger, and peaks out then and then calms down. Like a normal distribution curve. So, we're looking at, 10 days before 420, 10 days afterwards before it, you stop seeing these, eek, a bug. There was a huge cockroach in the kitchen sink this morning. I couldn't believe it was so big and so ugly. Ugh. Anyway, 420, eek, a bug. I invented that a long time ago because that's when your reptile mind, your brainstem little bulb, goes eek, and you go into this little panic, for just a little bit. It's startling panic. It's like you look in your rearview mirror, there's a policeman there, eek, a bug. It's that kind of stuff. So you'll feel it, everybody does, even if it's just a small bug. And it peaks out on 420. Oh, by the way, you caught some of this on the 17th, night of the 17th, morning of the 18th of April. You'll get some more on Monday night, the 24th, some more on Sunday night, the 30th, and a final eek a bug, which should be a little less, on May 7th. That's your Pluto schedule, okay? Other things going on. Venus is squaring Saturn. Yeah, Sunday, coming right up for you on the 23rd. So there's not a lot of sweets and love and sex around, and keep your little daughters home. This is dangerous for Venus. It is. On the good news side, Mercury here, which is going backwards slowly, goes by Uranus. And what you get is a higher consciousness. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Neptune enlightens through Venus, love, and touchy-feely and all that kind of stuff of the heart. Uranus enlightens through the mind, and it's Mercury stuff, yeah, words, astrology, common sense, think things through. So when Mercury goes by Uranus, there's kind of a zap of common sense and enlightenment from Uranus. And that thing occurs here. There's another little curve on it, see? Hits on the 28th. Well, you'll feel it on the 24th. Peaks out on the 28th. You'll still feel a little bit on May 2nd. So this is a really neat thing. It's late the 27th, early the morning of the 28th when it goes by. Common sense speaks. Yes. Usually people talk about UFOs and stuff. Hey, you want to find out the truth about the UFO thing? Go to skymirrorastrology.com/TV. That's my website. And push the blog button, and there's the whole thing on the rundown on why they came or what they did. Now let's go around this thing and see how it looks day by day. There, I redlined this because to remind myself that the last full moon at 20 Libra, yeah, opposed Jupiter and squared Pluto and opposed Uranus and set off the famous T-square. So you had a full moon setting off this tension and this panic, and that's going to make the Pluto station all the more potent. And so you're in a panicky month until the next full moon takes you out of it. That full moon is May 10th, and long ago I marked my ephemeris, this part of April, that part of May, because of this full moon. So you're in a tense spot. Yeah, and it's not just you. We all are, huh? That full moon, May 10th, is good for Pluto. So this guy won't panic anymore. There'll be power and control issues to settle after May 10th. Now, how about your life, huh? And all of us on this ball of Earth, how's it going to be day by day? Well, going to run the moon around the edge of the planetary pattern, take a look at it. A Thursday night, not too bad. You get a sextile to Uranus and Mercury, and some of that zapping of common sense is happening Thursday night the 20th, Friday morning the 21st. There is a little anger here from the moon squaring Mars. That happens between breakfast and lunch on Friday the 21st. And then about lunchtime, the moon goes by the south node, and we all feel like we need help. Yes. Now, even though we're all angry here, there is a sextile to the sun, so we're getting a plan together on Friday. Ask yourself what you're protecting. Saturday, on the 22nd, the moon's still in Pisces. This is all Pisces here. Hits Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, in the afternoon and around the middle of the day. And your higher heart could come out. You could regain some faith in things. Yes. People are really essentially good, Yes, they go along a little too easy sometimes. Well, the little fishes get in a big flock and follow the preacher. Uh-oh, look out. Saturday night, well, here's 9-10 o'clock. Nice sextile to Pluto. I got Discovery going. Well, I was looking at crop circles the other day. Fascinating stuff going on there. I think essentially, after the UFO guys came in and sampled our DNA, the stuff that's left is by and large maybe time travelers, people that, entities that don't have physicality. I don't know. I'm kind of dismissive of a lot of it, but the crop circles are certainly real. The complexity and worth attention. Nobody pays any attention to them. What's wrong? Moon's still in Pisces as you go into Sunday. You're in the Venus zone through the middle of the day, and there could be some sweets and some sex. And here's Mars is in sextile, romantic. If Venus hasn't fallen into the trap of squaring Saturn and the judge and the rules and regulations and the depression hasn't got her, well, Mars, the hero, is there to help Venus. Your Romeo is right there for you. Tap him. Romeo comes up real strong in the afternoon of Sunday, the 23rd of April, with a sextile to Mars. Now, once you're past the romantic stuff on Sunday, the moon's in Aries. And as you go into Monday, it's going to hit that T-square. Monday afternoon, it opposes Jupiter. And what are those rich people doing, and those lawyers? And then it hits the square to Pluto, and there's eek, a bug, panicky, anxiety, extremism. Yeah. And so this is a difficult Monday night. Tuesday morning, you could get some zap here of common sense from Mercury, and things could settle out a little bit about noontime when the moon trines Saturn. Let's hope so. By the way, as Mercury goes backwards over Uranus, lots of times high winds knock down the power lines. I was amazed that yesterday was Sunday and there was no Sunday newspaper. So here's more interruptions of the media and possible sudden wind trips going on that could startle folks a little bit. Monday night, Tuesday. Should mellow out a little bit as the moon goes into Taurus. That's Tuesday afternoon, the 25th. And part of the new moon is early Wednesday morning. And that be with somebody you love, make some good solid plans. This is a Taurus new moon, and so it's very earthy and practical. Go slow. There's inspiration Wednesday afternoon with the moon sextiles Neptune, and discovery is strong about 10, 11 o'clock when the moon trines Pluto. Now Pluto is still very active. He just stopped on 20th, and here we are on the 26th. So this is a good time to pay attention to new discoveries, new information. You know, that's what changes everybody. Moon continues in Taurus till Thursday afternoon, and on Thursday the 27th, you're going into the Mars zone Thursday night. Here it is right here after dinner. And Venus is in sextile, so Thursday could be quite romantic. There could be some sweets here. Romeo and Juliet are going to be out there holding hands all over the place Thursday afternoon and evening. Could be a pretty nice time for the young folks. On Friday the 28th, the moon shifts into Gemini, becomes a little more scattered. Well, the moon was in Gemini when it hit Mars, and Mars is, Romeo is jumping all around, and, I'm not sure he's very steady. Venus might like him more steady. She's in Pisces. But on Friday, the moon goes by the trine to Jupiter. There's some wisdom here. What is that anyway? But it squares Neptune. There's lies, there's deceit. It's all foggy. Can we trust that lawyer? I don't know. I would question quite a lot on Friday the 28th. Saturday, the moon's still in Gemini, at least until you get to after lunch, halfway to dinner. Now, there's a sextile to Uranus and to Mercury in the morning of Saturday. Goes right through lunch, and there's lots of higher common sense and zap, 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 new information. Take it, grab it fast, because here is the opposition to Saturn. It's just about noontime, and that slows things down a lot. The moon squares Venus Saturday night. Not a good time for a date or for some pleasure-seeking activity. So, sorry. Moon shifts into Cancer. It gets a little better on Sunday. There's middle of the day Sunday. It's a sextile to the sun. We feel like we're getting stuff done. There's a trine to Neptune. Good day for church and music and higher heart activities. But look out, here's the T-square. Comes on to you in the early afternoon and dinner time with the square to Jupiter. What did those rich guys say? What do those lawyers say? Eek, a panic. Panicky happens here, 9, 10, 11 o'clock Sunday night. There could be sirens. People are having trouble. And here's the finish of it is not till Monday before lunch with the square to Uranus when they feel insecure and alone. So here's your T-square again. Remember, we got a month of this whole tension and problems being amplified until you get to the next new moon. So it was terrible Mondays. It's getting itself back into Sunday. Probably next week it'll be Sundays and going back into Saturdays. That's the way it is right now. All right, for those of you who weren't around, note on Pluto. I was there when Ronald Reagan decided not to disarm the world of nuclears, but to put money into Star Wars trips. Horrible, horrible Ronald Reagan, a real demon. What happened next is he put money into Lawrence Radiation Lab. I knew some people working there. In a few years they came up with all kinds of crazy New Age weapons. One I remember had to do with these little plasma donuts that shoot out of a gun at high speed, and wreck things miles off. And the lasers, oh boy, lots of laser weapons came up. One of the best was a chemical laser that could shoot, halfway around the world. But it took so much energy, and you had to get it up high, so they'd fill a big old 747 with two chemicals. One chemical mix the other chemical, produce tons of energy, bang. They would get 7 shots, as I recall, from this plane before all the chemical energy was used up. Reagan's folly. None of that stuff was really very practical. But we spent all the money on it because of a presidential whim. Instead of going along and getting rid of all the nukes, Gorbachev was happy to get rid of the nukes. The Russians don't want nukes around. North Korea doesn't want nukes. Nobody wants nukes. What is this craziness? It's like the guns in certain parts of the U.S. Nobody wants all these guns. What is all this craziness?